Promotions. I am Lisa Melcher. Thank you for coming. And Candy, I'm going to switch it over to Candy. She has some important information she'd like to tell you. And Candy, on with the show.
I'm so excited. Lisa, thank you for that kind introduction. I love you,
You're
girl.
welcome.
So before we bring in our wonderful guest, who's kind of hiding there in the shadows right now, I just wanted to send a quick shout out to our boys, our friends from Fractured out in Atlanta, Georgia. So they have just signed a record deal, which we're so excited about. Iron Gate Records. It's all over their pages. Oh, yes. Congratulations, boys.
Congratulations, guys.
That is huge. You know, this is something that they've been working towards for a very long time. And, you know, I couldn't be more thrilled for them. So, boys, if you're watching, congratulations. Lots of love. We can't wait to get you on the show to talk all about
Great
that.
news.
Awesome. All right. So now that we have that wonderful business out of the way, we're going to bring in our special guest, the Count of Rock, TEDx. Welcome.
Hello. How you guys doing?
Welcome, Fantastic. Ted. Welcome to Front Row Promotions.
Great to be here.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. You know, I know this is considered morning for you. The sun has gone down, so we appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, it's a bit. I just woke up, so you got to bear with me.
Awesome.
No worries.
We will.
At your own pace. Well, let's start out. Like, I want to hear a little bit about your personal history. So take us back to the early days. Where did the whole thing begin? Like, what made you interested in becoming a musician, a singer?
Well, not to mention how far I do go back, but I do go back quite a way. Okay. I think originally what happened was I was enamored with radio and AM radio in the back in the day.
Yes.
Specifically, I would get WABC New York City on the dial, and that was a lot of great soul music. So that really got me interested in music, and I was kind of like a radio dial fiend. Is one of you missing?
I'm here. I'm still here. I'm just having some camera issues right now. Lisa, can you take it away for just one sec?
Sure. Yeah.
Anyway, so what happened was we had a band. We were doing 4 sets a night in Quebec.
Wow. Okay.
In Hull, Quebec, which was right across the river from Ottawa, where the capital city of Canada. And I was doing everything from Queen to the popular bands of the day, Queen and Motley Crue, Alice Cooper, Rolling Stones, and a lot of songs, 4 sets, 45s a night. And then I went to England, got some money, and went to London. And just as the punk thing was breaking, so saw a lot of the bands, Sex Pistols, Vibrators, and the Jam, the Clash. And then I came back to Ottawa fully charged, as it were, and started The Action, which was now considered Canada's first punk band.
Nice. Oh, wow. That's wonderful. Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
And so it didn't take long for me to almost manipulate the press into writing about us, because it was such a staid kind of conservative area, Ottawa, very small kind of city. And we did a high school gig on Halloween. And, I made sure the band was blamed for as much damage as possible. But, also, they my leather pants split open, and nothing really was revealed, but I made it seem as if right into the press.
Okay.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Exposed, singer exposed himself, and it wasn't like that at all. But and we had some green slime. Remember you used to be able to get this toy called green slime?
Yep.
Oh, God, yeah. They're really gooey in your fingers kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I pretended I was, from my mouth with it. And so they wrote about it They wrote about it the next day, and suddenly I was famous in Ottawa. And after that, we did get a record deal. We got a record deal in Montreal, but the head of the record company was Tony Roman, which was this old 60s singer in Montreal, but he was also a mafia kind of connected guy.
Gotcha.
So we had an Italian lawyer, and it wasn't really reputable. And then we got kind of a management company called New Wave Management, and they put us on. They found out that somehow they got us on tour with the Ramones. So starting in Flint, Michigan, I think it was in July, back in that year, and again, I was saying that was the best thing, the worst thing that ever happened to me, because what happened is, you know, it was a lot of people, a lot. The gigs were really in front of a lot of people, and then afterwards, it's like this story reminds me of a guy who replaced Ringo and the Beatles on an Australian tour, and he said the same thing. So when I got back to London after that, it was the worst and best thing that ever happened to me, because once you're in the best band in the world, the Beatles, and then you kind of go back to your own life, something's missing after that, like for your whole life, you know, because you've
Wow.
experienced that fame, and then you go back to being kind of who you are. But it really opened a lot of doors. We opened for the Stranglers, the first North American tour they ever did, the first North American gig they did, the UK Stranglers, stuff like that. And eventually the action kind of broke up, personality conflicts and all that. And I moved to Toronto and started an 80s band with my girlfriend at the time. And we were kind of more avant-garde than anyone else in Toronto at the time. So I thought we should have gone to London or New York, but we just didn't have the cash. And which is the story of a lot of, you know, bands want to go international, but they're kind of trapped in a small area.
Yeah.
What was the band called?
The band was called Chroma Key, and where most of the Canadian bands were very mainstream, like Martha and the Muffins,
Oh yeah.
you know, these kind of 80s bands.
Yeah.
We were kind of really dark and mixing world soul music with rock music and punk. But that lasted for 5 years, and then it was kind of a case of just jumping around, trying to find my destiny, as it were, and ended up living in Los Angeles for 12 years in
Ooh.
Hollywood.
Nice. Yeah.
Right,
Mhm.
right smack on Sunset and Vine.
Oh.
And we had just kind of missed the hair bands era. So it was like
Oh,
1990.
Okay.
And
yeah.
yeah. And
Turn to
then
grunge.
and then we moved to Seattle after grunge had already hit. So it's kind of like just missed the hair bands thing in LA, and just missed the
Yeah.
grunge thing in Seattle. It was kind of interesting though, being in that area.
Like, damn.
Yeah. And so I spent again in the Northwest. I spent 9 years, so it's quite like 20 years in the States. Which, as you know, you're Canadian, right? Are
Full-blooded.
you?
Yep.
Yeah. So back then, it was kind of like a feat to get out of Canada that long. It's like, fuck, I got out. You know, back in the States, you know, because it was hard, because you needed a green card to work in the States, and it was like everybody's dream in Canada is to live in America. After living in America, it was nice to come back to Canada because, you know, things like healthcare covered, little
Yeah.
things like that.
Yep.
So, but yeah, so and then I started this band called Sister Hyde in Seattle, and it was like really glam, where Seattle was like no glam bands at all. So that was kind of interesting, being the only glam band in Seattle. And the lyrics of my songs were all kind of really party music, and no limits, no holds barred, so to speak. Then after Sister Hyde, I moved it here in 2010, and started TEDx. So we had our first gig in 2019, and I released an album called Sex, Horror, Violence, and that's been doing really well for me. Did a
Which is
couple of videos.
awesome, by the way. I have listened to that.
Well, thanks very much. Thanks very much. And I just think you saw one of the videos from there, the film, the Death Us Do Part.
Yes.
Those are both on YouTube, Death Us Do Part and Get Out of Rehab. And now I've done a new EP. So just finished working on a new EP, produced by the same producer, Rob Sanzo, who's famous for doing Sum 41. And yeah, really pleased with the music. The lyrics in the songs are kind of really not what you'd expect. It's not really party music per se. I mean, it's got a great beat and the guitars are heavy, but the song lyrics are about kind of toxic relationships.
I just went through one.
Oh, really? Sorry to hear that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I didn't see it coming either, and that's what I'll say to that.
Right.
But I'd like to hear some of those songs. Maybe I can relate.
Yeah, I'm sure. One is called Victim of Love, so that's easy to relate to.
Bingo.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm a victim.
Right.
I think we both
I'll fall
are.
for it.
We both had similar experiences with that, Lisa and I. So yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And the whole thing about music is finding the song that people can relate to.
Absolutely.
That's true. Yes. Yeah.
And
like,
you kind of,
that's me. I can feel that. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. But, you're kind of in the industry. It's kind of funny because you're kind of stuck between. You look at the NBA awards, and you don't want to be, some of these people who are like so about themselves. It's all about my new album's been released, and you can, get it if you're the 100th millionth follower on Instagram. But,
Oh God.
It's just for clickbait. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's great just to be making music if you can. A lot of people can't go on stage. A lot of people are handicapped. A lot of people, for some reason or another, they can't make music. They can't have the life like that. So I have to take that into consideration every time I go up on stage, every time I'm recording. At least I can. And I go dancing on the weekends in dance clubs around the city. It's the same thing.
Rock pile.
Yeah, right. And a lot of 80s kind of nights too. Dance.
Oh, I love that. I love the 80s nights. Yeah.
Dark 80s, it's called. So,
very cool.
and my fangs know me. I have fans, but we call them fangs, of course.
Right.
Thanks.
And they've kind of christened me the Count of Rock for some reason.
I love that. I love it.
Can we see your fangs?
What's that? Yeah, and actually I have a fangs TEDx Fangs group on Facebook.
Cool.
So people should join that. And on my Facebook profile, going back to Facebook, I think I have like almost 5,000 fans or friends.
Wow.
And they're all women.
Ooh. I wonder why. You're a handsome dude there. And those eyes. Ooh.
But it's not what you'd expect. It's like usually the age group of women that are interested in TEDx are like 40 and older. Okay. So I kind of cater to that. My demographic.
Got some cougar ladies, huh?
Well, kids today are only into hip hop.
That's true.
Well, unless you have parents that bring you up on all the cool shit,
Right?
That's true. Unless you molded them that way.
Look, I'm in my early 30s. My parents taught me well. Okay.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me get my trying to get the camera going here. It's a bit dark. Let's see if I get any light. But without my fangs, of course, people say this. But, I would be really nothing without them because very supportive. And I think I'm going through something in my life right now where I'm become a lot more emphatic. Is the word?
Sure.
Yeah,
Oh, I like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so, in Los Angeles, I got into a lot of dog rescue, and I took about
Oh, bless you.
yeah,
Yes.
100, right, right, 100 pit bulls off the streets, one at a time. And
Oh,
the
oh
trouble
my
was,
God.
nobody wanted them, right? Because pit bulls had a real stigma in Los Angeles. Nobody wants them. So it was like a real kind of life or death struggle. And lately, yeah, so I've been going through that kind of emphatic phase. And my persona, the Count of Rock, is really kind of a show thing. It's not like a real vampire, because as you know, I had a magazine called Paranormal Magazine out of Salem.
Ooh.
Uh, Salem.
Salem.
Yeah, Salem, the witches, Salem.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Shout out to Jay, actually, our friend Jay Oakley. He's from
Yeah. I was
Salem
gonna
now.
mention that Jay. Yeah, we have somebody who's from there. Yep.
oh, cool, cool.
Mm-hmm.
And she contacted me like this, and I guess she thought I was a real practicing vampire because somebody had told her, "Oh, he's a real vampire. You should contact him, for your magazine." And I must confess, I kind of went with it for a while, but I had to tell her,
I love
yeah,
it.
I know, but I had to tell her I'm not because it's kind of ridiculous after a while, so. But I kind of wrote to her before the article came out, before the interview came out, and I said, you could call it Interview with a Vampire. It's perfect. That's like a perfect sub. So she did an interview with a vampire. I thought Ted Axe was a real vampire, but he's a really nice guy, blah, 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 like that. So, but a lot of people, write crazy stuff on my site, as you can imagine, like the Count of Rock. So you get a lot of people going, "Oh, I won't be your victim. You can bite me anytime." I know.
I think
So,
these women may have a secret fetish.
but
Oh my lordy.
yeah, so that's the other side of that. You kind of go, well, I don't know. I don't really like that because I'm not about getting victims.
Where did the whole
But
look
you got to
come from?
eat.
Where
You
where
got
did
to
that
drink.
come
You
from?
got to eat. What's that?
Where did the look come from though? Like what? I mean, what interested you about the look, about your whole
Well,
persona?
tonight I'm au natural, so I don't have any makeup on. I didn't have time to get ready.
Oh,
But I guess the look came from Mr. Hyde, Dr. Jekyll and Hyde.
Right. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, the kind of Victorian era of London.
I
I was
love
always
it.
really interested in that,
Yeah.
and the idea of also I was really raised on horror movies.
Oh, I love it.
oh,
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're
Awesome.
speaking my language.
Mine
yeah.
too. Yes.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, yeah. And there was one specifically in the really came out in the 70s called Count Yorga. It was like the return of Count Yorga. So that really influenced me. It was a really good vampire in that one, Dracula figure, and I was just intrigued with that whole thing, And so I guess that's where it all came from. But I like the top hat and the leather trench coat on stage. I got the black nail polish, the leather gloves, and the trench coat's really long. It's like,
I've seen a couple of things on
yeah.
your,
I
And
love
then,
I
uh,
love that look. Yeah. Mm.
but it's an interesting little top hat that's not really a real tall one. I don't really like bringing props on stage at all. So I just kind of go with more of a theatric presence than
Sure.
having to resort to props. To me, props always look corny. Even when Alice Cooper does them, I still think, oh, you shouldn't do that anymore. You don't need to do that.
Anytime somebody brings up Alice Cooper, I have to say this. I actually used to be a stage actress in a Cooper tribute.
Oh, really?
Yeah, almost
So
10 years
cool.
ago.
Yeah.
Great.
They're called Eyes of Alice. They're called.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, I know them.
Yeah, Robbie Cooper, he's the man.
Yeah, I was trying to get a gig with them about 4 months ago.
Yeah, they're just Robbie's the real deal. I tell you. But
Right.
no, it was so much fun being in that band. Anyway, continue. Carry on. Sorry.
Well, I remember. See, I have a little Alice Cooper anecdote. I was in high school,
Hmm.
and Alice was in town that night, and I took off school, played hooky, and
Like we all did.
I went
I
down
love
to the
playing
local
hooky.
arena. I was actually hitchhiking at about 3 p.m. and the roadies picked me up for Alice
Oh
Cooper
no way.
on their way to the
Oh
show.
shit!
Yeah,
Yeah, get
and so
out.
hey, where you going? I'm going to the show. So are we. So the first thing they did is
That's
pass me
perfect.
back this huge iceberg of Coke, like wrapped in aluminum foil, and with a razor blade and a dollar bill. I said, "What is this?" Oh, you just put it up your nose. I didn't even know. I was so young. I was like 14 or something, and I was 16. So when I got to the show, I felt very well buzzed, and they made me do all this grunt work, like lifting stuff up, and I set all the equipment up with them, and then I was able to see the show from the wings, like not even on the wings, just on the stage, sitting on a monitor. And back then there was no security, so the crowd was right up to the front, and they had 3 trunks of props, like gimmicks, um,
Of course.
fireworks. They let the fireworks off in the venue, and
Yeah.
bubble machines, all sorts of stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. And at
Oh,
one point, Alice Cooper slipped on the stage, and they started trying to pull his pants down. The crowd got a hold of his pants, kind of.
No.
no.
Oh no.
Yeah. But back then, you could kind of sneak into shows and stuff. It wasn't like today where you have all this incredible security. So we snuck into a lot of rock shows at the local stadium. So I saw a lot of acts, and I do. I'm right now. I'm playing in Toronto, but we hope to kind of get a break where we can go somewhat international this next year. At least get down into America, do some touring down in the northern and midwestern states.
I love
Sure.
to see you down here. Absolutely. That's where I'm at.
You're in Oklahoma.
I'm
Where you
Yeah,
what?
located?
she's in Baltimore.
Oh,
I'm in
Baltimore.
Baltimore, Maryland. Yeah. Mm.
Oh no, I used to live in Washington D.C.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so I know Baltimore, and I was down there a couple of years ago. But that's great. Yeah, so we're looking forward to doing that, and we got our stick together. It's the Count of Rock, a lot of smoke, a lot of lights, crazy lighting, and just a real kind of theatrical performance. And it's all in good fun in the end.
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
you
Yeah.
mentioned earlier as well that with the whole look, women kind of message you and be like, "Oh, you be my victim," or "I'll be your victim," and this and that. What was the craziest thing that you ever encountered with a fan, or while you're on the road or on stage? What was the craziest thing that you ever encountered?
Yeah, that's always a good one, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get some good stories there. Well, we want to keep it clean, right? So,
No, hey, listen, this is no holds barred. This is not a family show.
Talk
You
anything.
say
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
you want.
right.
Yeah. Say it as you like it. Say it as it comes out.
Well, I'll skip the story about the coffin then, because that's a little bit much. But
No, hey.
No, we need to hear it
Try
now.
us. Try us,
Yes.
Ted.
right.
We
I
have to
remember
hear it now.
once I was on tour, and this punk chick found out that it was my birthday, which is June 14th. So I was, it's my birthday. I'm really into it. And she comes out with this cake to the stage,
Oh no.
a piece of birthday chocolate cake. And I thought, oh, great, she's going to give me that piece of cake. And I go like this right up to the, like that. She just smashes it right in my face, right in my eye. I can't see anything. My eyes scratched. But, she runs off somewhere. I don't know. And
Oh
so I was just,
no.
yeah. So I went a bit mental on stage, like groping around, and But that was a good story, I suppose.
That
I'm
was
dying.
yeah.
I'm dying to hear this coffin story. Now you
Oh,
brought
I
it up.
know.
You
We gotta
opened up
hear
that.
it.
You opened
well,
up
no,
Pandora's box.
I have a coffin in my guest room in my house that's set up. I have the bed, and then the coffin is set up for people to sleep in if they want to. But you'd have to sleep standing up. So that's maybe
That's
I
so
love it.
cool.
I
yeah.
That is really cool.
love
I saw the
it.
pictures. Like that's
Yeah.
my kind of bedroom. That's the kind of the decor that I want in my
All
bedroom.
of that looks amazing. It sure does.
Yeah, right. So I get people going, "Oh, I'll sleep there. I'll sleep in the coffin." It's like, come on, would you really sleep in a coffin? Uh,
Well,
just
our friend Jay Oakley sleeps in a coffin.
see, there you go. So do I, but not
Sleeps
my
upside
guest.
down too. He sleeps upside down.
He sleeps
What
upside
we find
down.
is
Yeah,
that
hands upside down.
oh yeah, right. And but bats are kind of underrated. I think bats
Oh,
are
absolutely.
underrated. People are afraid of bats, but they're actually very incredible creatures. And
Yeah.
my mother was Hungarian, right? So I don't know if she was trying to scare me or tell me the truth when she told me one day. She said, Lady Bathory was your great 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 aunt. Of course, Lady Bathory
Really.
was one of the most prolific serial killer vampires in
Oh.
history. Yeah, she used to drain the blood from young virgins with
Oh.
in the
Oh
bath.
wow.
Yeah, that her servants.
Oh.
And until the villagers walled her up in the tower in her own castle, got rid of her that way, walled her
Oh
up.
wow.
So that kind of started me on the path to being who I am today, knowing that it was in the family already.
I love it. I love it.
I love it. That is so cool,
But
Lisa.
yeah, so there you go.
I love it, Lisa.
Yes.
All you.
Okay. So what's your what do you like most about being a musician?
Well, it's the incredible people you meet along the way. That's one of the perks, like you guys, Um,
Oh,
uh,
Oh
yeah,
yes.
because if you're not a musician, you just don't get to that privilege of meeting people along the way like that. And there's
That's true.
yeah,
we're
yeah,
like doing what we do. What we do.
right,
We
exactly.
love this. Yeah. Meeting you and learning all about you, what you've done, where you've been, and the stories behind you, what you do.
Right,
So
right.
yeah.
I've always felt like I was famous, just nobody knew it yet.
Oh, okay. Okay.
One of
Oh,
those.
I
But
love it.
I tend to. It's interesting because I used to get when I was really, really kind of emaciated and very thin and very white skinned, translucent almost, and I had the kind of Brian Ferry haircut, with the black bang in the eye, and I used to get beaten up here a lot in Toronto back in the
Oh
day
yeah.
because Toronto was really tough. It was like a tough city, and it was a lot of jocks, like college guys, really drunk, wandering around. Now that
Yep.
doesn't really happen here. And but at the same time, they were jealous, but they also wanted to. They were attracted, and so I had that kind of hold on males that they wanted to be me. They were attracted to me, and so they hated me at the same time. So it's that kind of love
Yeah.
hate.
They
And
loved
then
you, but they hated you. Yeah.
yeah, right. And so when I walk into a club, there's that kind of energy. People, you do feel like you have a kind of magnetism where people want to meet you. You feel like people want to meet you, like run up
They're
to you.
drawn to you. Yes.
I
Yeah.
got some,
And frankly, that's what happened when you added me. I'm like, who's this vampire adding me? Oh, this is freaking cool. And then I discovered how talented you were, right?
oh, well, thank you. Cheers. And
Absolutely.
yeah, but so it's kind of been a blessing and a bane as well. cross to bear, as it were. But I really love the thing about musicians. Of course, the people you meet along the way. You get to live out your fantasy when you perform, when you record, and on my recordings, I've been lucky enough to be able to do all the instruments myself, except the drums.
Okay, that's very
And
cool.
Nice.
and
Yeah.
yeah. So that's been a lot of fun. And I think the next album we're going to do, we're going to have the band on it. But so I've been able to get the guitars the way I want it, and then it becomes like a blueprint for how I want it. Bring it into the band, and even if the band changes, I still have that kind of blueprint. Oh, this is the way I want the guitar solo to sound, or this is the way I want the drums or bass to sound. Um, and it's an interesting thing I'm going through right now is giving up control. I'm kind of giving up control. Trying to show more the real side of me. I'm giving money to the homeless. Anytime I see homeless people on the street, it's like paying forward, pay forward, make their day, give them something. A lot of people say, "Oh, well, they're going to spend it on drugs or booze." So what, right? You know, they have to get through the day somehow. So that's something. And I think at the end of the day, you can only be happy when you love yourself. So kind of the only way you can do that is through kindness, I think.
Absolutely. I agree. Yes.
Man. Listen,
Absolutely.
you're a relative stone's throw away. I'm in Oshawa right now, but next time I'm in Toronto, I got to meet you in person and give you a big hug. Like, you are one remarkable person.
That
Okay.
would be awesome. Oh, sweet.
That'd be
Yes.
great. That'd be great. You should,
My
yeah, we
goodness.
together.
You know what? We really do need more people like you in this world. There's not enough kindness in this world.
Very true. Very true.
Absolutely.
Like people like a lot of these celebrities claim to love their fans, but would they ever really help someone who's really down?
Sure.
Fans? They're probably, because there's nothing as isolating as fame. When you get to that point where you're, on TV in Hollywood, like Nicki Minaj and
Nicki
people-
Minaj, you mean?
well, they're so isolated. You're kind of caught up in your own world.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Pooping on you. Minaj,
I'm just kidding.
But yeah, well, once they get to a certain level of, I can do this and do that, then it goes to their head, and then they don't realize who they are anymore, and they treat people wrong, and that's not fair to everybody, because they need them people to get where they're going, and it's not right to be.
Yeah, I think they become rather delusional, in a sense, because with that much fame, for people like indie artists like me, where I'm at that stage right now, I'm called an indie artist, where you kind of DIY, do it yourself, and you can put a picture of a black cat up on Instagram or Facebook, you can get like 50,000 comments. But if you put music up, you might get only 2 or 3. Is people really not interested in the music you do? They're way more interested in the persona that you're portraying, which doesn't hurt, right? Because at least you have one. But if you're famous, I think there's a kind of a misleading thing where people think you're only an artist if you have a record deal, but it's not really the case, because you're always an artist even if you're not having a record deal.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah. You got to take that into consideration and realize that just because you're not famous worldwide doesn't discount you in any way.
Right. Doesn't mean that you're not there.
Yeah, you're not valid. Yeah.
Right.
And the people that cling on to that dream are the ones that eventually get somewhere. Like,
Yes.
I know I got something different that's unique. I think that's the whole point of us being alive, right? We want to express our unique character.
What you have to give. Yes.
Art or fashion or whatever.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's the stage I'm in right now. And, I spent a lot of years trying to get away from my real self through personas and aliases and kind of being ashamed of my experience because it, brought me into a certain amount of years. Not being 21 anymore in LA, that was kind of like a real stigma, like, oh, I'm not going to make it. I'm not 20 anymore, because the companies, back then it was the labels. Well, we're looking for 20-year-olds, kid. We want to milk you. So I think there's now something I'm looking at, which is my own thing. I'm calling it flaunt your shame, celebrate your shame.
That's
Um,
awesome.
so
I like
whatever you think is your weakness is the thing that you should actually magnify to people.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
love that.
That is
Bring it
good.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like be proud of it, basically.
Right.
And
You should be a motivational speaker, Ted.
I love this. Yes.
flaunt your shame. I can see it on the back of a jacket. And so that's what we want. Yeah, that's how I think that maybe I can make a difference. So I never really want to be famous. I always just want to make a difference.
I love
That's
that.
amazing.
I
Oh.
love that. Yes. Awesome. Yes.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us about the new EP that's coming out.
Yeah, well, we started this EP around just before the pandemic, and then that changed everything. Then we couldn't get together, and people were
Yeah.
afraid of getting close in a recording studio. It was crazy. Now it seems like a bit of a dream, but it was a reality then, and I couldn't record anymore for a while, and people were afraid of getting sitting within 6 feet of each other, and always had to wear the mask and so on. So it took a long time for 4 songs and to come out, and they just came out now in July. So it's called The Count of Rock,
I love
produced
it.
by Rob Sanzo. Rob Sanzo produced my album Sex, Horror, Violence. So it's the same producer, but the songs are slightly different. They're not really based in alternative rock. They're more kind of a mix of influences, like a mixed bag. They're rock, but they have a punk edge, and some of them have an 80s edge, almost like a Simple Minds.
Oh, okay. Yes, I love Simple Minds. Yeah, yes.
Yeah, there's one song with keyboards, and there's some little effects I put in here and there to make it interesting, make it sizzle. So it's called The Count of Rock. So 4 songs. One is called Victim of Love. The new single off the EP is Disaster. And then there's Alive. And the last one is called Wedlock.
Oh, sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah, but they all deal with the same kind of thing, toxic relationship or relationship gone wrong. Maybe people trapped in a relationship, bringing each other down, but still
It's
dramatic.
something that people can identify with. and
Yeah.
I can definitely, it'll probably hit me right to the bone with the
Right,
feelings that I
right.
went through. Yes. And I would be
People-
like, that's the feeling. That's the one. Yes.
Right,
Yes.
right. So maybe, I think people will connect with it because it's that kind of feeling like, you're looking at a plane and you're going, God, I wish I was on that plane. The kind of like, maybe I should be on that plane. Hey, what about that? So it's like, do you stay? Do you leave? You're so in love with that person, but you're having such a crazy time, right? Do you really want to go through this every day of your life?
Exactly.
And it's talking about that. So in a sense, it's party music on the surface, but the lyrics are much deeper.
Awesome. I
that.
can't wait to hear it. Yes, I want to hear it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ted, I think what we're gonna do right now is just take a quick break. I think Lisa has something lined up over there behind her.
I
We were just talking about this actually a little bit off the air. So if it's cool with you, Ted, we would love to play one of your music videos.
And this is my favorite one.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
All right.
Here we go. A little bit of Ted Axe.
Let me turn this around. All Alrighty, and here we go. Get it in here. This one is my favorite. I love it.
That's badass.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
That walk, that strut.
I love it. Yes. Woo!
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you.
Ted, I gotta ask you, like, there must have been like camera tricks happening out there because I don't know how you survived in direct sunlight.
Well, this is the thing. I think it was like a kind of impervious umbrella on me of blessing from the vampire god,
There you go.
allowing me to exist in the sun for that one day.
There you go. I
I
love
need
it.
to
Now,
ask.
tell us about like the filming locations. You said that was done locally, and again, I'm a Toronto native, so I know
Yeah.
quite a bit about it. Where was
Right.
that filmed?
Mount Pleasant.
Oh, I had a feeling. My uncle is there. My uncle's there.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, wow.
Yeah, he's I haven't actually been there in a while, but yeah, he's in the mausoleum there.
Wow.
Yeah. But no, that's a beautiful, peaceful place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then in editing, I was able to intersperse it with one of the famous graveyards in Paris, France.
Oh,
So
okay.
some of the footage is from that graveyard.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really wanted a lot of effects, like imaginative effects, not the ones we see on videos all the time. So the guy that I used was from Poland, and he had a really old Polish video camera that still has that kind of film look. So it doesn't really have a real video look, which I kind of hate. It destroys every good movie, when you watch it on a smart TV. Looks like too much like a video, right? Not like film anymore. So I really wanted that kind of magical film look, and a lot of different effects. And we hit on an effect that kind of almost like a wave, a body morphing kind of effect.
Okay. Yeah.
Face kind of melting. Yeah. Kind of look.
Wow.
But the thing is the song is about marriage. Until death us do part.
I love it.
Yeah.
I like how you change the wording too, so it's not like your typical "until death do us part."
Right.
I like how you change that up.
Death us do apart.
Yeah. Exactly. I love it.
Yeah. So just filming in the graveyard was kind of this energy,
Sure.
and just being so comfortable with it was the thing that kind of was cool about it. I didn't really get a freaked out thing by it at all.
No,
That's
I don't.
cool.
I don't either. I see it as a very peaceful place to be.
Yes.
I actually have one right behind my apartment. I live
Oh.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Right. And having been in once I was in Los Angeles, and my girlfriend worked at a store in Brentwood, like a high-end store, clothing store, and she had the job of opening the store in the morning. And we went in through the back door, and we heard a voice, and of course there was nobody in the store. And so the voice just called her name. And having heard that, it opened up a ton of possibilities I never thought existed.
Oh my, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You're speaking my language.
Yeah.
You're speaking my language.
Yeah, I guess if you go through a similar experience, you'd understand,
Yep.
So it was just kind of mind blowing that this energy would be there and would know her name enough to speak it out loud.
That would be like, of course, in the beginning it'll give you like the goosebumps, like where did that come from? And then it's like, okay, all right. And then it's like,
Yeah, it was really weird. It was like a voice from a horror movie where it was kind of slowed down between a male and a female voice.
Yeah.
Is that disembodied voice, eh?
It was like kind of like, say her name was Linda. Linda. It's kind of like between a male and
like a little high and then deep. Yeah.
Yeah. Where is it? Like behind the wall or something, So it must have been something trapped there.
Like Stranger Things. Like in the wall. Yeah.
Right. And she had experiences there where she had fallen asleep upstairs in the clothing warehouse part.
Okay.
She'd fallen asleep on the ground and woken up with something on her that she couldn't see, like just a weight.
Oh, like an entity of some sort.
Well, no, it's like that weight of this, probably the same spirit, was like kind of pinned her to the ground. It was a little bit disconcerting, but she was able to get up. It was like, oh, there's something on me. Someone on me.
Is this like sleep paralysis or something?
Well, I think it was the spirit on. Like actually
weird.
physically.
I had that before, that sleep paralysis. I had that before.
But it did. Her name,
but then the spirit, yeah, the spirit be on you like that. Oh my God. Yeah, that's freaky. Yeah.
But yeah, if the spirit knew her name, that's definitely not residual.
Right.
Whatever it is, it was smart enough to know her name.
Exactly. It's that's
Yeah.
But yeah, you're speaking my language. I'm into all that stuff. And you saw the picture I sent you of this area that I have in my bedroom with like my Ouija board and like my spirit box and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
That's my cup of tea.
Yeah, but I think I did send you guys the 4 songs from the EP on an email.
I didn't get it. Oh my gosh.
No?
I checked my junk folder too. I didn't see nothing.
I have to check.
I might have to reset.
Candy, I think I sent it to you, Candy.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's
no,
see
it's
here.
not my junk folder. It's not here.
I don't see it either. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to make sure with my email. This is not the first time it's happened. You got to make sure it says .ca and not .com. That might be
Right.
why.
Might be why, yeah.
Yeah.
And but we've all heard, people start to think when you hear somebody talk about spirits and ghosts and the paranormal in a sort of semi-real way, people obviously think you're crazy. They go, way too
No,
many,
I believe in it.
right? Way too many drugs, but way too many drugs for that guy. uh, it's interesting when you do come across that. And then, we always hear these stories about people that have died. Like I met a guy in Encino when I was working there in a market research company, making phone calls, like, we recruit you for a market research group. But this guy had died for 20 minutes. He was a businessman. He came back to life after 20 minutes. I asked him, he told me this story, and I said, well, what was it like? What happened? So that was interesting hearing his story. And he was talking about how he went through a tunnel. There was a light at the end. And the thing he said that was kind of struck me as interesting was that it was the best feeling in the world that he's ever had. He said it was the best feeling that I'd ever had in the world. I didn't want to come back, but something, felt this force dragging him back.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. And he did seem slightly touched afterwards when I was speaking to him. He was a bit balmy, but that was interesting hearing that again, because you're looking at a consciousness that is apparently brain dead, but still something's happening.
On the other
Right.
side, yeah.
It's really
Wow.
dramatic experience is happening to the guy. Yeah.
That's
So all that stuff,
unexplainable. Yeah.
really interested in that now. I don't think I was when I was 18. So that's what I'm going through as well. In terms of what I'm kind of my mind is doing for lyrics and stuff like that. Yeah. But the next video, I think I'm going to make it about this new song I have called Disaster. And the disaster starts with the sound of an ambulance,
Ooh.
the song. And I wanted to maybe drive an ambulance around for a day and film it.
That would be so
Very
fun.
cool.
I would love to do that too. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'll have to get you guys those tunes for the new CD. The new
Awesome.
EP. Yeah.
That is really cool. Very, very cool.
Any-
Lisa, go
Any
for it.
news? Any news in the making for any new videos to be made? Is well, like you just said with the ambulance and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do 4 videos for
Ooh.
the 4 songs. So I just have to start work really. I've been looking for a videographer. So if anybody knows one, let me know. And I've been lucky enough not to have had to spend a fortune on the last 2.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so still kind of, no record company funding at the moment. So I'm still paying for it out of pockets. So, but really it's about the person being more creative than typical. Like I get a lot of guys going, do you need a drone? I don't really need a drone. I don't need any aerial shots. Although I do like them in horror movies. You got to have an aerial shot, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's
speaking of
good
horror
idea.
movies, I just want to give a quick shout out. We have our friend Jay Oakley is actually watching right now. So this is
Hi,
all
Jay!
right up his alley.
Yes.
We love you, Jay.
We love you. You can join in if you'd like.
If you want to jump in on this and have a go at Ted, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. That would be awesome.
But no, that is really cool. But speaking of horror movies, we'll kind of bridge the gaps here in case Jay wants to join us. What's your favorite kind of horror film? Like, are you into more of the paranormal stuff like we were talking about, or are you
No.
into like the slasher films, or?
Well, I really like good acting. So you got to believe the characters first off. There's so many crappy movies out now because of all the streaming, especially the ones filmed in 2020. They're usually really bad. But
Yeah.
I don't think I don't really like slow moving ones. So I'm really not into the paranormal ones because they're not really,
Okay.
yeah, they're kind of slow, and unless they're really convincing. But having gone through the real thing a couple of times, you know, but I don't really know why I'm into it. Anything that gives you a kind of anticipation, excitement. There is a lot of six teenagers go camping, but they're being stopped, picked off one by one. Well, that could be good if it was done right, like uh, the Australian one. What was that called? I don't know. But sometimes the Australian movies are good, better than American ones.
Oh, okay. That
Yeah,
sounds good.
So
Yeah.
what's your all-time favorite horror movie then?
well, like I said, I used to like the old Dracula ones.
Of course.
One of my favorite horror movies is called Count Yorga Vampire,
Okay. I've never seen that one.
and the guy's name was Robert Quarry, was the actor. He never really made it. So, but he was definitely the best Dracula I've ever seen. He made a couple, one called The Return of Count Yorga and one called Count Yorga Vampire. And of course, he had a lot of brides. They all slept in coffins in the basement of the mansion. And the great thing about it was that he'd come back in the 20th century and lived next to an orphanage.
Oh.
So he was like an old vampire come back into modern day, which makes sense to me now. And I suppose that might have influenced me. But what kind of horror movies do you guys like?
Well, because it's stuff that I personally believe in, I'm into the paranormal type, much
Right.
much like our friend Jay Oakley. I know he's watching. So like my all-time favorite horror movie, scary movie, is The Exorcist. I
Oh
love
my
The
Oh,
God.
Exorcist.
Whoo.
Um, I
Yeah.
love I love
right.
like the Insidious movies,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that.
The
Yeah.
one that Annabelle was in, what was that called? The Conjuring. Oh my God.
No,
They made what, 3 of them?
Annabelle.
Right.
Annabelle. Yes. The first one was, I think, the best one. Oh my God.
Yeah. So it's
I love
yeah, that's the kind of stuff I used to like the slasher films. So I used to be into like Freddy Krueger and Jason and Leatherface and stuff like that. And I am still to a point.
Right.
I'll watch any horror movie. Like I'll watch anything, right?
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
watch them right before I go to bed. Like I'm that sinister. I don't care. It
I
doesn't
will.
bother me.
I will, but I won't.
But
Right.
yeah, it's usually more along the lines of like paranormal type stuff. That's what I go for.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Although Candyman gets an honorable mention because that was also another favorite, even though it's not like a paranormal type thing.
That's a
Oh,
great
yeah.
show right there. The
Candyman gets an
Candyman.
honorable mention.
Right. I remember that one. The Candyman can.
Candyman can.
Candy. Woo! Candy girl.
Do we have anyone backstage, Lisa?
No, not yet.
No? Okay. So yeah, no, I'll listen, Halloween is a year-round thing for me, and I don't have to wait till October. I don't really care.
Yeah, exactly. We have a gig on Halloween, the Friday weekend, Halloween weekend. So kind of working towards that.
Oh, nice.
And that's in
Amazing.
that's in Cambridge, Ontario.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Rhythm and Blues.
that's a bit of a drive, but I can see what I can do. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I was there,
Very,
I'd go with you, Candy.
Get on a plane, get on a train, get on a plane, get on your bikes and ride.
Exactly.
Yeah. So no, yeah, that's definitely what I'm into. How about let's talk a little more Halloween stuff, Lisa. You're into the whole Halloween thing, and you're into like the Stranger Things kind of
I
stuff.
do. I used to go out ghost hunting.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, there's this bridge called Jericho Bridge. There's 2 of them, 2 different ones. One's the covered bridge, fully covered, and there's like a tradition or like a trait, whatever the thing it goes. You have to drive through the bridge a few times, drive in, drive back out, drive in, and the third time you're supposed to stop and put you're supposed to get out. I'm not leaving my vehicle because I know things happen. So
Right.
we sat in the vehicle and we were just looking for things and orbs and stuff like that. And we seen a few orbs and was really weird stuff. We were looking for stuff, we didn't find much, but we saw the little orbs coming around. We got that on video.
Ah.
When we got home, we pulled. My friend Debbie. She was with me. She was
Right.
driving. As soon as we pulled up to let me out, my daughter came over to say hello, and because she was getting ready to go somewhere, and we heard a big thud, something like hit the side of Debbie's vehicle, like boom. And I'm like, Deb, what was that? I don't know. What is it? It's on your side. I didn't see anything. Tori was standing right there. She didn't touch the vehicle. Something followed us home. So
Oh my God.
yeah, apparently something, banged her car like that. And I was like, okay, all right. And I like it enough that I will get scared and it will give me chills and goosebumps, but I love it. And I'll continue to keep going and seeing more. We want to spend the night at like one of those overnight places. And I know that Gettysburg, PA is very haunted.
Oh,
And
I've been there. Yeah.
have you been there? And they have those places where you can spend the night, and most of the rooms there are haunted and in some kind of hotel place. And one certain room is very haunted. So
Wow.
yeah, a lot of things happen in that room. So I'm like, that I haven't done that yet, but we're going to plan on that. So have you had any experiences? Oh yeah, we have to try that. We have to do that. Yeah.
Before we hit it back here, we actually have a fan comment from our boy, my ride or die, Jay Oakley.
Awesome.
This is all stuff that's right up his alley. He wants to know. He's like, okay, vampire movies. If I can pronounce this correctly, Nosferatu, Bram Stoker's Dracula, Interview with a Vampire, Bela Lugosi's Dracula. One has to go. Which one's got to be?
Oh, one's got to go.
Yeah.
One that wasn't so good.
The one, in your opinion, that needs to, be removed from that list.
Oh wow! What's the list again?
Okay, so Nosferatu, Bram Stoker's Dracula, Interview with a Vampire, or Bela Lugosi's Dracula.
Huh. Well, Nosferatu is a classic. But I wasn't. I would probably wouldn't watch it again. It was like it was the first one.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So in a way, it was like the pioneering movie. But I never really liked vampires that were bald and had big ears and rotten teeth. I much prefer
like how they had in Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah, well, I think the real guy didn't have the fangs the way that Hollywood kind of made it. The two animal fangs. They were kind of more like rat teeth in the front. But I always prefer the Hollywood version of the cape.
Of the fangs.
Yeah, the fang, yeah. And yeah, so yeah. So I think it would have to be Nosferatu, unfortunately. I'd hate to see him go, though. But...
Yeah, no, I hear you. That's a good question.
If you had to,
yeah. Thank you. Love you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Wow.
What was
I love the suspenseful. I love that it keeps you don't know what's going to happen, and something's going to pop out, but you don't know when.
Right.
Yeah. What was the first Halloween costume you ever wore? Like when you're little going out trick-or-treating, what was the first costume you ever went out as?
Oh, my first costume. Wow, I think it was the first costume was a clown. I think it was a clown. My mother made me up as a clown. My mom though, she'd get pleasure out of kind of demeaning you. So she kind of dress you up
Oh
as
no.
a clown. She was a
Oh
very kind of
no.
cruel Hungarian woman, you know. She's quite elegant, but she did kind of have a very cruel streak.
Oh no.
And the weird thing was that I kind of looked like her, and I couldn't tell if she was kind of attracted to me or just involved with or self-hate, that she kind of loathed me at the same time.
Oh
Uh-oh.
no.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh
She wasn't
no.
really a nurturing mom. Yeah, so but she did afford me some privileges like studying art. She allowed me to study art instead of, engineering or something.
I was going to ask you
So
about that actually. I've seen some of your artwork and your drawings on social media.
right.
Yeah.
Very well done. I love it.
Oh,
That
thank
looks,
you.
yeah, they were great. I've seen them too.
Cheers, thank you. Yeah, I do enjoy art. I don't find that I have to really work at it at all. A lot of people have to practice it, but I just had a kind of a natural talent, I suppose, where I never really had to study it. But
Yeah.
this
That's
really,
good.
this probably isn't really cool for a punk rocker to say, but my dad became, he rose up in the government here quite quickly, and he became ambassador to Mexico, Canadian ambassador to Mexico. So then they said, "Where do you want to go to school? Do you want to go to school in Mexico?" So yeah, I'll go to art university there. So then I did that, and I studied down there, which was really kind of crazy. It's like the middle of Mexico, and it was a half Texan school board and half Mexican owned university. And I got a Bachelor of Fine Art. So rather than follow art, which is probably what I should have done to make money, right? But I always followed music. So that was my parents' bands. Like, why do you want to be Mick Jagger? Everybody, there's a million Mick Jaggers. There's a dime a dozen. You should do art. So the more they said, "Oh, you don't want to be in music," the more I did
The more
want
you
to.
want it to be. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You just went that opposite route. Yeah.
absolutely, yeah. I always go ahead, but I was
And dating.
study. What's that?
She
We're
didn't
I
say
actually
listening.
anything.
go.
She didn't say anything. She didn't say anything. Go on. You're good.
I go to art drawing, life drawing workshops every week. So like spending, $40 a week just drawing.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
Oh.
so cool.
because I have a love for it.
That's
And,
good. I wish I could do that. My daughter, she can do, I don't know if you can see the back of my wall.
oh wow, cool.
Yeah, she does
Oh,
cartoons. She can do cartoons, and we have a
nice.
hallway full of her art on
Oh yeah.
canvas, all the way up the stairs. Yeah, she just sits there and she'll look at something as we're sitting watching TV. She's got it on like on her iPad,
Oh
and
yeah.
then she'll take and just freehand and draw it, and then she'll paint it. Yeah,
Very cool.
yeah. So if you have that, that's amazing. That's a nice talent to have. I like that. I can draw, but
Yeah.
not like that. It
Yeah.
looks kind of
Again,
like stick people.
uh, and I do also like to play the drum. I actually have this drum that I play, a hand
Oh,
drum.
nice.
Yeah, and it's kind of like a meditation because what happens is that most of the time we're awake, we have this kind of roll of negative energy in our minds, like, "Oh
Right.
fuck, I fucked up there. I fucked up there. Did I do that right? Did I do that right?" And you have to kind of stop that. So you have to find something that takes your mind off that. So a lot of people
Yes.
do yoga. A lot of people do this or that. I find that banging a drum out in the park helps me do that.
That's good. That's good. You got to
Yeah.
find something that you like to do, and that's what your niche is, and do it.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right. And you
I
gotta do
used
what you
to.
love.
Absolutely. You have to do
Yeah.
anything that you love.
I used to like to do dance. I used to go out dancing all the time, but now my one side says no.
Oh,
Yeah, I can dance, but not like I used to. Not
And
like
right
how.
now, right
Yeah.
now I'm doing what I love. This is what I love to do. This is
Me
this is
too.
a
Me too. We
fun.
found this and we found each other, and
Yeah.
you know,
Wow,
so
that's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
We both found each other out of, we're not going to go into detail, but a very kind of bad situation, to put it that way.
It was good to
Uh,
begin with
Oh,
in the beginning,
yeah.
but then as it ended, wasn't so good. But we found each other through that person, and I can say his name. Thank you, Angel Alamo, for putting us together. Because if it wasn't for you, I would not have had Candy. So,
I've
yes,
always wanted a sister.
and I wanted a sister as well, and here we
nice.
are. Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
So, but Angel, you know what? Let's take a second actually, because we mentioned Jay, we mentioned Angel. Everybody that's watching, you included, Ted. Every Wednesday night, there's an awesome show called the Metal Summit. Actually, I'm gonna put you in touch with Jay.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you in touch with Jay because I think you're right up his alley, and I think at some point I would love to see you on that show. So Jay, if you're still watching,
Yeah, somebody's
Metal
watching.
Sunday.
We have one person, but I don't know who.
that's probably Jay. It's Jay. That's
Okay.
the question I asked.
Awesome.
Metal
Yeah.
So that
Sunday.
would be awesome. Yeah, for if you get connected on going to the Metal Summit, if that that would be a good thing to do. Those guys, all of them are funny and they're good in each way. They're all different and they're cool. They'll make you laugh.
Is it like a podcast?
It's a
It's
video
like a
podcast,
show.
much like what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what we
Oh,
do,
yeah.
but there's 4 of them instead of just 2.
Oh,
Yeah, there's 4. Yeah.
wow.
So
Cool.
You'll have a good time on that show as well.
So we're kind of running out of time. We're gonna put a bow on it, as Jay says. We're gonna wrap things up very
Okay.
shortly here. So you mentioned the EP had come out. You're thinking of doing the music video. Is there anything else that's coming up for Ted Acts?
Wow. Yeah. Well, let's see. I just got a whole new band, basically. So we're kind of
Awesome.
making sure that everybody's got their parts down, getting really tight, and mainly working on the vocals. So we're doing a lot of live rehearsal. At the same time, I'll be pushing the EP, doing interviews and stuff. So it's really kind of an exciting time for the band. I do want to mention my band, Derek Barton on rhythm guitar, Anthony C on lead guitar.
I know Anthony.
Oh, really? Oh,
You know Anthony?
I
Oh,
know him. Yep, I
sweet.
know Anthony. I've known Anthony
Oh,
for
so cool, so cool.
almost 10 years. I've known him. That is so
Wow.
cool.
very cool. Stefan Ford on drums, and William Walker on bass. So
Hello,
Nice.
guys.
Hello,
bunch of
guys.
I can't wait to meet you all.
right.
Oh, so sweet.
And so we'll probably be doing Rock Pile again very shortly. We've been starting to do the small towns around Toronto. Toronto's really got a kind of a unique situation because there's like a golden triangle of towns within an hour to play all over the place. So a lot of bands don't take advantage of that, but now we're starting to do that, get out of town quite a bit. Niagara, Cambridge,
Love Niagara.
Thurl.
I love that down there. I went there one time. It's so sweet.
Now, I'm in Oshawa. We actually have a very nice theater out here called the Region.
Oh yeah, gotta do
Yeah.
that. Gotta
It's
do
actually
that.
about 10 minutes away from my place here. It's a
Oh,
beautiful
great.
theater.
What's it called?
The Region Theater.
Regent Theater. And then playing in Quebec is also quite different. 'Cause playing in Montreal, you get a French crowd, and Montreal is a lot more less conservative than Ontario.
Mm-hmm.
So I love playing in Quebec. But I'll get you guys the tunes for sure if on your, and maybe you can play the new EP. And so I'll be doing that very shortly, getting you the songs for the new EP. But thanks
Definitely.
for having me so much. It's great that you contacted me.
I mean, I just, the pictures, I was so mesmerized. And then, like I said, it's, I discovered how talented you were. I'm like, you know what? We're always looking for new talent and new guests that we've never even seen or heard of. I'm so glad
Exactly.
that you were able to take the time out today. This has been it's been a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And
Yeah, it's been
always
great.
good to have you back. Awesome. And maybe
That would
when
be
you come
great.
back, you can sing a song or something, or have something you can do and sing for us or something.
That would be great.
We would
Yeah,
love
yeah,
that. Hmm.
absolutely. And yeah, I'll make sure I get you the now. I'll get you also the album, the Sex Horror Violence.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Yes. Yeah, I would love to
That
hear
is
some
so
of
cool.
those songs.
Now,
Yeah.
for anyone else out there, that your music is definitely something to have, in our collection and everybody
Right.
else's collection. But where can everybody go to find more information about you and to buy your albums, your music, anything like that?
Well, my music's up on every store: Apple, iTunes, Spotify. So you can get it there. I do have a website called TEDx Bandcamp. It's on Bandcamp and the TEDx
Oh,
Bandcamp.
okay. Yeah, I remember that. Yes. I think I
Yeah,
had that before. Yeah.
yeah. But now most people are on Spotify or Apple, I believe. So it's all about streaming now, right? So
Yeah,
that's
but
where
we
people.
also in because of what we do, Ted, we always encourage people to go to the website and support you guys directly. It's very, very important to us.
Right? That's really good. So a lot of people don't even think of that because when you buy something on Spotify, they keep the money until you get to a certain amount, which you actually never get to because they kind of make it that way. So it's a bit of
Aw.
a risk. So
Now,
you
do you
have to,
have anything else available for purchase other than music? Like, do you have merch, T-shirts, any kind of swag like that?
yeah, yeah, t-shirts,
Tank tops?
right, TEDx tank
I need tank
tops.
tops. See, I have to wear tank
Yeah,
tops.
oh,
Yeah.
great, great. So I'm gonna be starting to make TEDx top hats.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh, hell
nice!
yeah.
I
Put this
love
hair in there.
it.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
Yes,
love to
I
have
love it.
one.
that'd be
Yes.
great.
And where
Yes,
is all that
indeed.
merch available? Where can we all
That's
find
going to be
that?
available on the Bandcamp site.
Okay. So
Yeah, TEDx
TEDx
Bandcamp.
can you repeat it for us one more time?
Yeah, TEDx.bandcamp.com.
Okay, perfect.
Bandcamp. Yeah, TEDx.bandcamp.com. Hmm.
Awesome, awesome. Lisa, is there anything further from you?
I just wanted to know, like, um, if someone's just starting out, what advice would you give to them? Like, if they're just starting out in the music business, what would you
Right.
say to them? Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. You asked me that because when I went to Los Angeles, that's exactly the question I would ask celebrities, and I was going to write a book on their answers. And
Nice.
yeah, it was the same question. It's like, what advice would you give to somebody starting out in the music business, just to see what they'd say? And
Right.
I remember Weird Al Yankovic. I was sitting next to him at a on a movie set. I was having lunch, and I was part of the crew, and he was acting in it. And he looked at me and he went, "How about mascara and lipstick?" Which is kind of like a satire because everybody was wearing lipstick and mascara at
Oh,
that time. So once when I
yeah.
was in LA, once Motley Crue came out, there was a million different Motley Crues. Like everybody wanted to be, that. So everybody looked like that. But I would have to say um, the main thing is to just do it really for yourself first before worrying about what other people want from you. Because you can put yourself in a box saying, "Oh, people really I think people want this from me," and then you'll be that. Like I think Danny Lovetto suddenly now has just come out with a kind of a thrashy music, saying that she thought people wanted her to be, this rock, this kind of other thing that she had been for years. And now she
Right.
realized that, that she wanted to do her own thing the way she wanted to do it. Um, So I think you have to find that niche that you be something unique instead of being a carbon copy of somebody.
Just be
And
yourself. Do your
yeah,
own thing and be yourself. Yes.
right. And you also can't believe in the myth that if you're not successful, if you don't have a record contract, like the old idea of a label deal, then you're not worth it. You have to keep on pursuing it. Like a lot of people that have gone through what I've gone through have already given up a long time ago. And I read a quote by George Bernard Shaw, who's of course a famous philosopher, and in the 1900s, and he said one of his quotes was, "It's not that you get old. You don't get old." What was the quote? You don't stop when you stop playing. What was it? Well, basically, it's like you don't get old by stop. You don't get old by stop playing. You have to. You have to keep on playing in order not to get old.
That's
Oh,
it.
I love
There you
that.
go. I love
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
What's your favorite quote?
My
Besides
favorite
that,
quote.
Besides that one was a good one. Yeah.
Well, I'd have to say my own quote: "Flaunt your shame,
yes.
yes,
celebrate, yeah,
yes.
flaunt your shame." So the idea being that if other people look down on you for something, what you say, "Fuck you, this is who I am," and you flaunt that.
That's right. This
Yeah,
is right. And like, yeah. I
yeah,
used to say to people, I'm not here to impress you. I'm not here to impress you. I'm here for me. And if you don't like me, then
right. Yeah. The other thing that people have to realize is that not to be so subconscious, because you wouldn't care about what other people think if you knew how little they did.
I love that.
Yeah.
Say that one
I
more
needed,
time.
I needed to hear that. I needed to
Yes.
hear that.
You
One more
wouldn't
time.
care about you wouldn't care so much about what other people think if you knew how little they did think about you.
Yeah,
I love that.
absolutely.
Because you always
Absolutely
people are so
love it.
held back, but oh, I don't want to do this in front of people. People might, they're so self-conscious that they don't really care anyway. They're too busy looking at their phone.
Yep.
They don't
That's
really.
true. That's very
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
I used to be super, super shy. And then somehow I pulled out of that. And I'm like, I don't care what people think or say about me, because they're going to think it anyway. So why should I let it bother me? Why should I let it carry on my shoulders? Oh, no, I'm here. I'm me. You know what? You like me or you don't, and that's
Yeah.
and that's a good way to look at that too. I like that.
Yeah. And you might as well
Absolutely.
give them something to talk about, right?
Yes. If
Give
you
them
don't,
something to talk
I'm
about.
coming in and here I am. If you don't like it, there's the door.
There it is.
you know.
Is it?
And here's what my grandmother used to say: "Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you." I love it.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
That before. I love it. I love it.
That's what she used to say.
That's good. That's
so,
good.
so Ted, tell me what's on your bucket list.
Wow, that's a good one.
Crazy things you might have wanted done or do. It's on your bucket list. I've got to do this.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I'd probably make sure that I have to play Madison Square Gardens.
Oh my gosh. That's like
absolutely. We heard that
Yeah.
last night, didn't we hear that? We heard that
Madison
in
Square
another
Garden.
interview.
Oh, really?
Yes, we heard that
Oh, that
before.
was
Yep.
that was, I believe it was oh god, the name's escaping me. I'm sorry if you're watching. I'm very sorry. The guest that we had the last week from Australia.
Ah,
I think that's he mentioned
Ben.
Madison.
It was Ben Albert. Yes.
Yes,
Ben Albert. Yeah.
Right. I'm
That's
sorry,
what he
Ben.
said.
We love you. Sorry, Ben.
We love you, Ben.
Wow.
We can't think sometimes.
maybe we'll have to do it together. I should get in touch with
That
him. I
would
said,
be
"Well,
an amazing show. Yeah.
Yeah.
His band's called Fuel to Fire, and he's in Yeah, he's in Australia.
Yeah.
I forget what part. I'm trying to remember. But yeah, that would be amazing.
Very cool.
Yeah, we'll try to see if we can hook you guys up.
That'd be great.
So
Yes.
so like we said, we're kind of running out of time here. We want you to be able to enjoy your night, Ted.
Okay.
Is there anything final from you, or any shout outs that you want to give, or anything else you want to say to everybody watching?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have a new Instagram. I kind of lost my old account, had all these people on it. Now I'm looking for new followers. So it's Ted Axe 3 on Instagram. So if you want to follow me there, that'd be great. I'll follow you back. And so I have a couple of TED Axe Fangs group on Facebook, the TED Axe Fan Club on Facebook. And so looking forward to seeing some more people at my shows from this show, of course, even, people who say, wow, that might be interesting to check out.
I just followed you on Instagram.
Right. Oh, great. Always looking for more.
I joined your fan group just today. Yes, I did.
Oh,
and I'm sorry, but holy shit.
There you go.
Hot damn. I love that eyeliner. Hot diggity dog. I have some eyeliner on too, but don't look as good as yours. I love it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And, I can't listen. We can't thank you enough for joining us. It's been so much fun talking to you. As we said, we wanted to get you on your way so you can enjoy the rest of your evening. This is daytime for you, so we definitely want you to enjoy it to the fullest.
Well, I am getting a little bit hungry. Or thirsty, whatever you want to say.
Okay. Oh.
Thirsty.
You gotta find the blood in the refrigerator, right?
Well,
I'm
sometimes
just kidding.
Replenish the supply, as it were.
Do you prefer the cold-blooded or the hot-blooded? What's your personal preference there, Ted?
Yeah, well, let's not get into that, shall we? Get into that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Woo!
Alrighty. Well,
you guys, I'm going to send you my new EP now. So
fantastic.
Excellent.
And listen, when we go offline, Ted, just stay on for a quick second, because there's one other thing I wanted to ask you kind of off the air, okay?
Okay.
All right. So Lisa, do the honors.
Yes.
This is your baby.
Okay.
Let's put a bow on it.
Thank you all. Thank you all for watching our Front Row Promotions show. Lisa Melchert here, Candy Burton, and Ted Axe. We had a wonderful time and showing some love. All right. So thank you again for tuning in to another wonderful show. And our guest, Ted Axe. We can't thank you enough for showing up and being here. And this interview was so amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Bye now.
Stay on.